the way we win is to drive turnout. And every single one of us is about getting to work and driving turnout. What does it mean to drive turnout? If you need to be responsible for 100 people to go out to vote for Trump, minimum. If you want to be ultra patriot, it's got to be 500 to 1,000. And you got to start writing down. Have you guys done the work in the audience and started to write down every voter that you're going to be responsible for? Sally Sue Marie, Joe Smith, Dale Jenkins, whatever. And you're going to make sure that they go and vote, and you are going to pester them throughout voting month. Offer them drives to the polling places. Knock on their door. Hey, have you gone and voted? Have you gone and voted? Can you go get your daughter to go and vote? Are they registered to vote? That kind of pestering, that kind of grassroots energy is what is going to make the difference here. Nate Silver has come out, right, Blake, and said he's never seen an election this close.
It is the closest he's seen, and across especially the number of states that are extremely close.
And so now is not the time to sit idly by, guys. We are getting a lot of people signing up to want to go chase ballots in Arizona in the month of October. That is tpaction.com/100. And just so you understand, what we did yesterday at Arizona State University is yet another place. We did this in Madison. We did this in Penn State. We're doing this all across the country, of voter registration, of rallying, of talking to students. This is defining work that could end up being determinative for the rest of the election. My only concern is, why are there not more groups doing this in different communities? Why does it require Turning Point Action to have to take this kind of initiative? I guess it's just because the movement has really kind of become used to sitting around and complaining a lot and not doing the work that is necessary. But you guys can do that work, and you should do that work. Being in the neutral gear is not an option if we want to remain free citizens. Doing nothing is a ticket to tyranny. Now, what is the youth vote looking like? That's a good question. Blake, I want to talk about this one poll. It could be goofy, it could be an outlier, but there's something here probably where they polled students at Notre Dame University.
Yep.
What did the poll show?
Okay, so the latest poll it's by the Irish Rover, which is a paper at the University of Notre Dame. It says, I'm not super familiar, but it says upholding the Catholic character of, so I'd guess it's probably a Catholic paper at Notre Dame, probably not the main student newspaper. But they distributed a survey through a variety of means. It says the survey was sent to a variety of student dorms, nonpartisan clubs, and it was distributed in classes. And they got results from 700 likely student voters, is what they said.
This is not scientific, probably.
It's not ultra scientific. It does look like they did. It was not just they got whoever. Like, they say they weighted the results to reflect the demographics of the student body to the best of their ability. So they tried some scientific methods, but it's not as randomized as like a Gallup poll would be. Anyway, what it found was Trump beating Harris 48% to 46%. And that's notable because, yeah, Notre Dame's a Catholic university, but in 2020, they surveyed, they did a mock election. The student government did a mock election. So not the same people. It's not the paper this time. They did a mock election. It had 3,500 votes. That was about, I'd say, a quarter of the student body. And that was Joe Biden 66%, Trump 29%. And in 2016, there was a mock election, again, slightly different, only 850 students that time, but it was 59% for Hillary, 24% for Trump. So we have two past mock election results, also of dubious scientific merit, but those showed big Democrat win. Now we have a poll that at least tried to be representative, and it showed basically a dead heat.
And so are they going to do another election at Notre Dame, potentially, like another mock student government election? Or
I doubt it. Just maybe they will. I don't know exactly what the plans are there. I guess the student bodies one when they did them in the last time was right before the election, so they might do it when November arrives. So at that point, I guess we'll see.
And so everyone, if this is correct, which is a big if, that means that the youth vote at Notre Dame moved almost 30 points.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that's half true. If it moves 15 points, that's
a big deal.
That's major.
Very big deal. And it's not just the fact that you're getting their votes specifically, but what this does to a lot of Democrat stuff downstream. Democrats have always been able to count on having a huge number of volunteer bodies to do a lot of their electioneering work when it approaches. They just have these young people who have tons of free time, are willing to go do this. If that number has gone down, That messes with their turnout stuff. Also, Democrat get out the vote has always benefited from there being so many places where if you up the turnout, it's 90% Democrat. So, you know, they've always benefited from, if we just get out the vote in like this black neighborhood in a city, we don't really need to aim for Democrats because almost everyone will be a Democrat.
That's right.
All of their get out the vote is less efficient if those groups are a little bit less Democrat overall.